we going? We are going. Hello. What's up, y'all? So, in continuation of the other day, I am headed. So, what I do in my real life is what's at the beginning of this channel, which is we buy storage units and then we sell the contents to all you lovely people and whatnot. If you don't know what that is, Whatnot is an auction site. I will put the HTTP, the www, whatever address, the interwebs address, right there on the screen, and if you just copy it and paste it, it'll take you right to us. We are Callahan's Keep at CALLAHANSKEEP on Whatnot, and we are on every single Wednesday at 6 o'clock. If you sign up through our link, they'll give you $15, absolutely 100% free, to spend on their site. You don't have to spend it with us at all. You can go spend it with somebody else. But yeah, so it's super good. Yeah, they're very good at Whatnot. But anyway, we would love to see you there tomorrow at 6. Okay, so anyway, what I was talking about, one thing I wanted to talk about was taxes. Because I have talked to friends of mine, people I respect and like, and they were like, no, we can't tax the rich because blah, 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 they'll move and yada, yada. They're not going to. Zoran Mamdani is proving that right now in New York. He taxed them. He taxed them a lot. And you know where they are? They're still in New York. You know why? Because that's where their business is. Their business exists of two parts. It's the physical business itself and the consumers that consume whatever it is they make. Without those consumers, the business does not function. Without people willing to buy things, the economy can't function. So while all of these billionaires and these businesses, do you know that Shell, the gasoline company, has made, $7 billion in profit because of the war in Iran? $7 billion in profit. You're paying $5, $6, $7 a gallon for gas, but they're making $7 billion in profit. And do you think that's trickling down? It's not. But you know what? If we would tax them 80-90%, and I know that sounds like a lot, doesn't it? Because you don't understand taxes, and that's what I'm here to explain to you. If you tax the people who make, say, who have a net worth of over $500 million, first of all, that's more wealth than you could possibly spend in your entire life. And I don't think people appreciate how much money that is. More than you imagine. So $500 million and up would be taxed at, say, 80%. And what that sounds like is that if they make $1 billion, then you're going to take, as the government, $800 million from them. And if they didn't ever get any tax breaks, which if you've been paying any attention at all, they get all the tax breaks. If they didn't get any tax breaks, then yes, that's what it would be. It would be $800 million. However, they do get tax breaks, right? And there's a lot of them. There's a buttload. And what they do is back in like the 60s, 70s, 80s, when it was really nice in this country and everybody sort of lived in harmony, it was because the minimum wage was high enough that everybody could afford to live. The costs were not that high. You know, they were manageable, even an apartment and stuff. Y'all, when I was 20, I went to the University of Texas at Austin, in Texas. Hook 'em horns. When I was 19, 20 years old, this was back in 1989, 1990, I lived literally within walking distance of the drag at the University of Texas at Austin in a first floor studio apartment. And I paid like $300 a month, I want to say. I worked at Taco Bell. And was able to afford that apartment on the drag, like a block from the University of Texas, and go to school. And I actually had another job working in the music department because I was a music major. Do you want to know how much that apartment would be now in 2026? Like $4,000. A lot of this goes back to greed. The reason that wages don't go up and the reason that benefits have been consistently hacked away at is because they don't have the incentive more to put into their business. Back in the day, when they were taxed at 75, 80, 90%, in order to get the tax breaks that they needed so they could offset some of that tax, the tax that they needed to pay, they would invest in their business. They would invest in their workers. They would raise wages. They would offer uniforms. They would offer paid time off. They would offer maternity leave. They would offer good health benefits. I mean, just so many things that were offered to the people, and then they could take that as a whole for their whole company and then deduct it from their taxes until they got their taxes down to a point that they could tolerate paying that. And when that was the case, everybody was happy. Then Ronald Reagan came into office, dropped the tax rate to 28%, and all of the big businesses went, oh, well, I can just pay that. I don't have to invest in my company at all. And they stopped investing in their company. And that's when, the wages went way down. They would pay minimum wage, maybe. Wages went way down, and the conditions at work, work-life balance, all of those things tanked because they had no incentive to keep their workers happy. They could just pay the tax, and they didn't care because they make so much money, $7 billion in profit, that they just didn't care anymore. And it got progressively worse. They would take all the wealth that they made, and they would either give it to their stockholders in stock buybacks, or they would, hoard it. Anyway, I'm almost to where I am going. I'm going to Goodwill to go thrifting. So I'm going to move on. But, yeah, I'm going to keep doing this because it makes me feel better and it gives me somewhere to vent that's not at my mother, who's getting tired of me. Because I love politics, but Mom is not deeply into politics. She listens to me long enough to keep herself posted on what's happening, and then she's like, okay, I'm done. I don't talk about it anymore. Okay, all right, fine. So anyway, y'all have a lovely day. We will see you tomorrow or the next day. Oh yeah, don't forget Wednesday at 6 o'clock. That's tomorrow. What's today? The 12th. Tomorrow the 13th. We are having our whatnot at 6 p.m. Be there or be square. It's a beach theme, so we've got inflatables for the pool, we've got games, we've got clothes, Tommy Bahama, I've got Johnny O, I've got Hilo Hattie, just all the good things. So come and see us, and we will see you tomorrow. Peace out, y'all.